And finally she has one good night of sleep.
Yeah, but consciousness is about to slap her in the face. Owen?
Just me.
Oof.
Yeah.
Like that Mel doesn't even, you're not even worth my time to talk about it.
Changing her bandages.
But then she snaps.
She's so powerless in this situation.
What are they fighting about?
Fuck you, Yara. I wouldn't leave you behind.
Oh, and this was a fun beat because he did just learn how to say fuck you.
Owen invited them to come to Santa Barbara. That is very Owen.
She's trying to be jokey and connect with Mel.
Talked him out of going by now. Hoping that she doesn't know.
Right.
Actually, I'm going with them. But not if you come.
Oof.
What? He may fall for your little act with these kids, but I don't. There's nothing to fall for.
Isaac's top scar killer suddenly had a change of heart.
It's such an insult, right? But it's like, she probably deserves it. But the idea that she's only being nice to these kids to earn favor with Owen.
You're
Yeah.
a piece of shit, Abby.
You always have.
It's so sad that she doesn't fight back because she probably agrees with her.
Oh, fully. Fully.
Done with you. Well, I think Mel is also calling into question, like, can characters change? Can people change? We see it with Joel, but it happens so rarely, right? And so many of our characters are myopically focused and can't change no matter what. So I understand why she feels like this must be bullshit.
Fuck. No, but she finally feels like, oh God, I'm doing the right thing. I'm finally doing the right thing. Maybe I can be better. And then like this
Right.
Abby? Instant back to reality.
I like that showing emotion in this world is somehow a weakness.
Nice shirt.
We iterated a lot on what was on that shirt. We had,
Yes,
I just
I was
remember we
just
had all
thinking the
these
same thing.
all these different designs that were just too distracting, and finally we ended up with something pretty subtle.
How's your arm?
Because she'd need an aquarium shirt.
Why does that otter look so sad?
Otter lost its arm too.
Lev coming around?
He will.
I remember a conversation I had with Victoria here about
Do you mind helping me look?
Yara's motivation, how she's
Pretty worked up.
she feels like she needs to repay Abby in some way, and she's complimenting her, and she's pulling her in to like find Lev,
We ran off this way.
but more for Abby's sake than for actually finding Lev. Oh, this was a tough one to write.
Lev.
Oh yeah.
How is he doing this?
Hey, do you think maybe he could convince your mom?
If she saw him like this, she'd strangle him with her bare hands.
The conflict between love and duty, of like the love a mom should have for her kids and the duty she has for her religion.
I heard some of your people calling him Lily.
I like here that Yara is the practical one. She sees the world as it is, and she sees the consequences as they are. And in some way, in another universe, she and Abby would be wonderful enemies because they are both strong, myopic soldiers,
When he
right? But for Yara,
explained to me,
the risk to Lev's life is worth
felt inside.
giving everything up.
I told him he had to keep it to himself.
And the guilt. Right? This guilt here.
I was hoping he'd snap.
Well, it's that it's also Yara has greater love for Lev than their mom had for Lev. That
Then he
this
shot his
moment that she's describing here is what made her lose faith.
One of the men. It was suicide.
And we don't talk about it, but I think the difference that I see between Yara and Lev is that Yara has lost her faith, and Lev has just
I screamed at him.
refocused it, went back to the origins, to the writings, and sees how it was corrupted.
So stupid.
This is another one of those scenes. I thought Victoria here just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we find something to cheer him up?
I like these in these action games. Sometimes having a goal of like, oh, let's find a toy to cheer up a kid, and that becomes your gameplay objective.
What about this?
It's perfect. Mel's wrong.
Another brilliant thing Ashley Swadowski sort of conceived of is you watch the kids visually change and move away from scars over the course of this game. So here we see Yara is now dressed like a civilian, but she still wears the braids.
Sorry, I didn't realize you owned everything in the aquarium.
She's not fully
well,
letting go.
An aquarium. My stuff. I'm just kidding. Take whatever you want. You can't.
Have you seen Lev?
Yeah. He's down
Yeah,
the
we're
hall.
about to get into this conversation of, I mean, they're talking about their relationship, but thematically there's greater stuff here, which is when are things too late? When have you gone so far that there's no coming back from it?
She couldn't tell I was joking.
They are very literal.
They're literal people.
I suck with kids.
It's funny he says he sucks with kids, but I think Owen would be a great dad.
Oh, I think he'd be an incredible dad.
Another world.
Coming to Santa Barbara, right?
I can't.
Why?
You know why.
He's such an optimist, right? He's about to talk about that. We'll figure it out. I don't know how,
It's too late.
but we'll figure it out.
I know. I know it's a fucking mess. I know. But we can choose to be happy. Happy.
Again, going back to something you said earlier, Neil, but it's like this idea that suffering is the way that we honor the dead.
I don't think Abby has fully admitted, like, no, I don't have a right to be happy. There's no.
Yeah.
Get back here! Lem!
What's he doing? He's going after her.
After who?
His mom. She's gonna kill him, Abby. Is the boat ready?
Not yet.
How much time do you need?
A few hours.
This is their last conversation together.
She just had surgery. I'm fine. How else am I gonna find him?
I'll go with you.
Owen?
They're heading to the fucking island.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna let her go by herself.
I think there's a part of Abby that knows she's about to head into a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is her forcing Owen to stay here.
She's really trying.
She's trying.
The irony is in staying here.
She
is
dooms
what-
them.
She
is what
abandons them, yeah.
Dooms him.
I don't know when it is in gameplay that you realize, like, oh God, I killed them all as Ellie. You know what I mean? What did I do?
Is that a sniper rifle?
Uh-oh.
Stay on the dock. I'll go get a boat and pick you up here. No, I can help. Not with this.
Girl, you have one arm.
She is so tough.
She's badass.
But yeah, Abby doesn't want any more blood on her hands. So just like with Owen, she wants Yara to stay behind.
Get down! Abby, what the fuck?
Manny?
You by yourself?
Yeah.
They like the dynamic between Abby and Manny.
This sniper's a fucking bro.
Just a couple of bros.
Doing out here?
A couple of bros.
We were supposed to hit the island tonight. Then this pendejo showed up.
Tommy's so
I sent the
cool.
guy to call for help.
It's so interesting how very few players guessed that this was Tommy right
Oh,
here.
really?
Yeah.
I need one of those boats. Now.
Just because it's been so long and you forget
forget,
about there's
yeah.
a whole other cast of characters that are on this island, and now
Let's do it.
these two stories are starting to merge.
Right, at first it feels coincidental, like, oh, she just happens on Manny. It's like, no, Manny was targeted. The revelation, it's Tommy.
What? No wonder he was so good.
I'm like, oh right, this whole other game that's happening finally collides. If you don't see a character die on screen, you should always question their death.
You all right?
That music is so ominous.
Yeah.
I like how she's just burying the death of her friend.
Yeah.
Just stay, again, she has this very narrow focused mind.
And the realization that it's all gonna come crashing down.
And the guilt, I would imagine, right? Like, the thing I would be burying in that moment is, oh, that's that guy? Oh, I'm complicit in the death of my friend.
There's another one of those that's, if you were to see the making of it, it'd be so funny because they're like, okay, and wave. And wave. And you'll have to act the physics of the boat. And then later, the animators like touch it up.
In the earlier days of this game, there were 5 days that the girls were sort of doing their thing in Seattle.
And now we're on their territory.
There was a whole day where Ellie would go to Scar Island to give you this opportunity to see them in the same nurturing way that we would see the stadium, where you get to see them take care of their children and their seniors, and you get to see them farming, and you get to see them be human people. But we cut it because ultimately it didn't shift Ellie's journey. Oh, this scene.
This is a heavy scene. Unlike the rest of the game, which is just
A comedy.
that shift right there for Yara is really nice, of going from grieving to protecting, consoling. Yeah, that's right.
Talking to her.
Those cuts.
Trying to make her understand.
And she knew it was gonna happen. She knew that's what the outcome was gonna be.
She started chasing me,
Lev's an optimist.
trying to make her stop. I was just pushing her off of me. She hit the table.
With everything that Baby Lev has been through in this past week, this is truly the death of his innocence.
Now these three have become the us, and the WLF is about to become the them. There's this little connective tissue right here of or this moment of connection between Abby and Lev that I love, that she hands him the bow. Just the exchange again, this exchange between them.
My baby, baby.
Sweet baby. All she can do is arm him. This way.
Got one!
Oh, this is
This is the... Yeah. So right, originally you would come into this island, and this is where we would have killed Lev, and
Yeah.
we had these concepts of stone mound graves, and that you would find Lev being buried in one. But instead, we flippity-flopped it.
it's funny. It's like Abby stopping Lev from doing the thing she couldn't even do, is grieve for
Yeah.
the person she loves. And there's our second Isaac scene.
What the hell are you doing?
Well, not a good look.
This was really fun watching you guys play, this back and forth. It's like every other time you've been able to reason with Isaac, but
He saved my life.
he's at the end of his rope.
By the way, we'll deal with you back home.
He's not one of them, please.
Abby, move.
God damn it, he's just a kid.
Isaac doesn't see a kid, you know?
You have 3 seconds to get away from that scar. 1,
You really gonna shoot me?
2.
I'm not fucking moving.
That that facial expression was great.
And Jeffrey Wright gave us a lot of deaths, a lot of falling in all these different ways. I remember that. This was another one of those where we wanted to make the volume feel bigger and run with the characters. And then we had a hard time, I don't know how much you remember, Laura, of like getting this beat to land right here, this exchange between the two characters, until we somehow, I don't remember the exact order of events, but we came up with this line right here. You're my people.
Yeah, we were on the stage and it just wasn't quite working. And you came to me and you said, let's come up with let's brainstorm some other lines. And I said, you're my people. And you're like, okay, that's it. And you just walk back on set. And it really, it's become my favorite line in the game because it is, to me, it is the unifying idea.
This one here is actually one of my favorite scenes in this game.
I agree. This one's really great.
It's just the visuals, the
tragedy.
exchange, how far we've come. Just the idea that he's cold. The weather.
She's so Joel here. She's just such a dad here.
This is, again, this is one of those things that's very easy to write on the page. She takes her jacket off, she wraps it around Lev. Very hard to execute and make it look good. Look how she's looking at him.
Well, it's like now she's looking at a small version of herself, right?
Yeah.
She knows what it is to see your parent dead, to see your world burn, and now she's just got to helplessly watch another person do it.
This is, again, where the two stories are barreling into each other. And we have a series of losses. I mean, there's this nice dramatic irony. The player already knows what's waiting for Abby inside, and they're like, oh my God, oh my God,
Yeah.
oh my God. And they're waiting to see how this
If they
plays out.
remember, a lot of people forget.
No,
But
really?
as soon as they see Alice,
Oh yeah, Alice is the
that's the
trigger.
giveaway. What can you say to someone that just lost his mom and his sister at the same moment?
Alice is the only dog that actually has to die in the game, which was a fun thing during press when people would be like, why do you want us to kill dogs? And it's like, you don't actually have to in any of the setups. They're all voluntary kills, but Alice is the only requisite one.
I'm pretty sure we're always careful to say you don't have to kill dogs, but we didn't say you don't have to kill dog.
Dog. The cutest dog that you play fetch with.
Be careful.
This is, Laura, you make this look very easy, but this is a very hard scene, I think, watching from the outside to act, which is you have to go from grief to pure rage. I think, Hallie, this was your throwing up that you wrote into this scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
It's such a great visual of how much grief somebody can take before your body just rebels against it.
Yeah.
This little, the way he says Abby here. Almost afraid to show her this might lead to the people that did this. And of course, this was Ellie's mistake of dropping the map here in her panic attack. And and the music is doing a good job of just taking you internally into Abby's head. Now she's regressing back to the vengeful spirit she was before. Our main characters collide, or about to collide.
I think one of the things that makes Laura's performance here so special is that this character is so hard and so terrifying, but in every scene where Laura is scary, there's also this patina of vulnerability, of fragility that's coming through, where you can feel that she's quaking with rage, but there's so much complex stuff happening underneath that rage. It's really great. You're not bad.
It's funny because it's the same way I feel about Ashley's performance. So there's always this.
Just that rage feels so real.
She's so good too, like fucking one shot.
And from her perspective, it's Jesse's an NPC.
Yeah.
He means nothing to her.
Stand up! Now!
Don't you fucking dare!
Shut the fuck up! All right? Stop! Stop!
What is so beautiful here, or tragic, is that Ellie doesn't get it. Right? What Ellie's about to say here is like,
I know why you killed Joel. He did what he did to
well, he
save
did it
me.
to save me. There's no cure because of me.
And Abby's like, what?
Not
It's
about that. I don't know how much Abby cares about it. It's about her
Yeah.
dad.
You killed my friends.
Like, I showed you mercy.
And you wasted it.
And players were so uncomfortable here. Like, I have to go up against Ellie now. And this is very much by design.
Who is scary?
She's wily, but you're beefy.
Stay here.
If I remember correctly, Ashley, we had you like have water in your mouth when you delivered some of the lines here, because your mouth is meant to be filled with blood.
Yes. Wow. Okay, because I remember I was, as my usual, I was like, why am I just laying here? I would try everything I could to try to get up and go save her. So I think the water and having that and having sort of showing or being able to hear how messed up Ellie is in that moment.
This is the other scene that lives in my head. The knife to a pregnant girl's throat. It's so terrible, but in her mind, like, Ellie just intentionally killed her pregnant friend, and Mel is so visibly pregnant.
And the fact that Abby does not kill them shows that she's kind of in a little bit of a better mental place, I think, than Ellie is.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
she's
grown
also
a
got
little
her
bit.
moral compass, like,
Yes.
right in front of her.
Yeah.
There's like
Yeah.
two versions of love right in front of her. One is
Yeah.
a destructive one of like wanting to do justice by the people that I've lost, and the other one is wanting to do right by this kid that I've come to be their protector. And she
Who's already
chooses.
seen too much violence, who's already experienced too much wrath, right? It's like he needs peace.